Hi guys, it's Cal from Dirty Weasel. Welcome back to the mod organizer for Fallout 3 series. Here in episode 7 we are installing two mods that should lend the subtitle of Beauty and the Beasts. We'll start out with Fallout 3 Redesigned, aka Project Beauty. Then we'll tackle Mart's Mutant Mod, including the merged version from Paradox Ignition. To finish things off, I'll talk about the compatibility patches needed so far that are available from Blackened. Just a reminder, in our efforts to keep modding free, I encourage you to donate to your favorite mod creators. As part of Dirty Weasel Media's mission statement, donations will be made to the mod authors showcased here after release of this video. Once again guys, it's off to the desktop. Alright guys, so let's get started here, and some of you may be asking why we are installing these two mods together. And it has to do with compatibility patches. When we get down to the compatibility patches later on in the video, you'll see exactly why, and it's best to just go ahead and install them both at the same time. Let's go ahead and open up Mod Organizer. You can see we have it on the right, and on the left we have our first mod we're going to be installing. That's Fallout 3 Redesigned, formerly Project Beauty HD, done by Dracomes and Space Odin. It is mod 6341. Obviously, it's been around for quite some time. Why the name change? I don't know. Never really worried about it too much, but you can go through it and read all this stuff. Archive Invalidated, we'll touch on that very quickly, but if you want to read more about the mod, you can. Installation instructions are going to be pretty straightforward. Some of you may be asking why we're not using Kelmych's guide for this, and then it has to do with when they were updated most recently. The files were changed. The format was changed on August 11th of 2015, right there. So you can see that Fallout 3 Redesigned HD version, you're going to go ahead and download that with Manager. You want the HD version, not the standard version. It will make sense later on. So let's go ahead and go over to Mod Organizer. I will minimize that down. And you can see Fallout 3 Redesigned HD versions right there. Go ahead and double click it to install it. And you'll see that you'll have a drop down here. You can go ahead and click the version we want. We want Fallout 3 Redesigned HD version. And we click Manual. And you're going to have meshes, textures, Mart's Mutant Mod, Project Beauty ESP. I'll come back to that. You have Project Beauty Broken Steel, Project Beauty Point Lookout ESP, and Project Beauty ESM. Because we will be using Blackened Patches later on for Project Beauty and Mart's Mutant Mod, we are going to unselect that ESP. Now you could do this later on by going into your optional ESPs and moving it up, but why even have it in there? Because we're replacing it with something else. Let's go ahead and click OK. And you can see it down here at the bottom. So you activate it. I'm going to go ahead and slide it up for right now. You can slide it up anywhere you like. I'm going to slide it above primary needs or flashlight, anywhere. The only thing it's making a change right now to is updated unofficial patch, Fallout 3 patch. And when you double click and you check your conflicts, you can see it's basically replacing some of the textures and meshes. Nothing really to worry about too much. Okay, go ahead and close that down. And that's basically all there is to it. And you think, well, it's not a big deal. So when you open this up and you look at your optional ESPs, it has Broken Steel ESP, Point Lookout, and Project Beauty ESM. And it's fairly simple. You notice that the Mart's Mutant Mod Project Beauty ESP is not here. That's because we didn't install it in the first place. Okay, go ahead and close that down. And we are going to move on to Mart's Mutant Mod. Now we will go ahead and refer to Kelmych's guide. And you can go ahead and see it right here. You're going to scroll all the way down and you're going to look for section 25.12. That's Mart's Mutant Mod. Let's go down that section and take a look. And if you read these instructions, basically he's telling you to install the FOMod Ready archive and the MMM 6.2 update. Let's take a look at that real fast. And you see Mart's Mutant Mod done by Martigen, hence Mart's Mutant Mod, Mod 3211. When you scroll down and you can see it's going to change a whole bunch of stuff. And what it's going to do is add new enemies for you to kill and higher variety of enemies. They're also going to be a lot tougher. And I would suggest when you come over to the file section that you go through and you download these manually and read the text files. there are certain things you want to know and certain things you want to read. You can go ahead and install it first, but we'll just go ahead and do it this way. So you're going to need the Martigen Mutant Mod RC61 Foam Mod Ready Archive, not the normal one. We want the Foam Mod Ready Archive. You're going to download that with Manager. You're also going to download the 6.2 update, and it's going to update 6.1, and you're going to download that with Manager as well. So let's go ahead and do those first, and then we can come back and move on to our next step. So over here in our download section of Mod Organizer, we have Martigen Mutant Mod Foam Mod Ready Archive. Go ahead and double click to install. It's going to extract it. And you get the foam mod that we were talking about. And it's going to give you options. You're going to have the in-game menu, and that's going to be through your Pip-Boy. I'll show you how to do that. And then you have Esp Configuration. We don't recommend this. Kelmych basically doesn't recommend it. I don't recommend it. So you're going to click Select In-Game Menu and click Next. And you'll come to your DLC compatibility. And you can see that it's already detecting that I have the appropriate DLC. And you come down and you have global options. And these are things that you can add to make things, work a little better in game. You can see natural selection, a hunter-prey faction where stronger creatures prey upon the weak. And you have tougher traders, protects traders from being beaten up by the local wildlife while still allowing them to be killed by the player. And zones respawns, and it removes the never resets flag from all encounter zones, sans areas where it shouldn't be applied. We're going to go ahead and click all these, and it's up to you on which ones you want. I will show you how to do that. And we're going to click Install. Now that's installed, we'll go ahead and update Martigen Mutant Mod to 6.2. So double click Martigen Mutant Mod 6.2 update right there. And you can see it's manual, and I've already renamed it once during testing to Martigen Mutant Mod. You want to have this name, Martigen Mutant Mod, on your left pane of Mod Organizer. Go ahead and click Manual. You can see it's going to be replacing some of the ESPs and the ESM and the Martigen Mutant Mod ESP. Go ahead and click OK. And we're going to merge it in. And there we go. You can see we go ahead and activate this. And when we highlight it, you can see it's changing Fallout 3 Wanderers Edition. Okay, right there. So we can move it up. I'm going to go ahead and move it up to about there. Okay, Fallout 3 Redesigned, that's fine. And we go ahead and open this up. We're going to ignore this update. And we will open this up. And you can see conflicts. It's going to make a lot of changes because this is big stuff here, guys. So just so you know. When you come over to ESPs, you're going to have 11 down here in the available ESPs. The next mod we'll be installing will be merging most of these together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start moving them up. I'm going to move all 11 up to the optional ESPs, hence, deactivating them. And that includes the ESM and the Martigen Mutant Mod ESP. Now, whether you want to keep these natural selection, tougher traders and zones respawns, that's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and move them up. You scroll down, there they all gone. So per Kelmych's instructions, you can see they've all been moved to the optional ESPs. There's some special instructions if you use Breeze's male body replacer on this section right here. We'll come to that when we do the male body replacer. But for right now, that looks good. And we'll go and close that down. And now that we've disabled all those ESPs, we need to put it back. And that's going to bring us to our next section. And that's Paradox Ignition presents Martigen Mutant Mod merged. So Paradox Ignition, you're going to read this. Basically, it's going to tell you the instructions. So let's show you how to do that. Of course, Paradox Ignition, and it is mod number 16787. And it is done by Harry Legs, Benoit, and Robert01. And you come down, you can see one of the big things it does is Martigen Mutant Mod. And you can see it's going to replace some of those ESPs and the ESM that we just disabled. So just keeping that in mind, it's not going to replace the ones that we talked about with the tougher traders, the predator, and the respawn ESPs. Just keep that in mind, guys. It's just replacing these only. So when you come up and you go to your files, you can see Martigen Mutant Mod merged right there. You're going to go ahead and download that with Manager. Of course, we have that already done. It's Mart's Mutant Mod merged. You're going to double click to install. And you can see it's going to want to select the wrong thing. It's Paradox Ignition. See, it doesn't know the right thing. So we're going to go ahead and click Mart's Mutant Mod. And we're just going to edit this name up so we can get it to match up the right thing, because we want to merge it into the original Martigen's Mutant Mod. Gens Mutant Mod. So it matches the name right here. Go and click Manual. You can see we're going to have Martigen's Mutant Mod.esm. It's going to combine all those ESPs and ESMs into one ESM, and you have the text file for that. You can either leave it or not leave it. It's up to you. It looks good, so we click OK. It's going to ask you if you want to merge that in. You say yes. We're going to disable that, ignore that update. 6.2 is fine. That's exactly what we want. So when you open this up now and you take a look at your optional ESPs, you have all the ones we disabled, and you only have Martigen's Mutant Mod.esm. That's exactly what we want. You can have a bunch of conflicts, but we knew about those. I'm going to close that down. So we are ready to go talk about compatibility patches. We'll go back to Kelmych, and we'll just highlight where we're going to go, and we are going to go down to our compatibility patches, and that's section 26. So we scroll down a bit, and it's the conditional patches list that we talked about in the previous video. So the one we're looking for right now is we have almost everything installed except for Eve. So Fallout Wanderization, Project Beauty, which we installed in this video, Fallout 3 Redesigned, Weapon Mod Kits, RH Iron Sights, and Martigen Mutant Mod. So you're going to go to the Blackened site. Now, let's go ahead and just jump up ahead, and we'll take a look at this. It says Blackened FAWE, Mart's Mutant Mod, and Project Beauty is the patch we need for this combination of mods that we've got. We've already got the RH Iron Sights FWE WMK compatible. We installed that when we installed FWE and WMK. All right? So when you scroll up, you'll see the Blackened right there. It will give you instructions on how to do this, and basically just kind of discusses it. So every time you make a change, if we add Eve later on, you'll have to go back and get the new one that we're talking about. So let's go take a look at Blackened. And you can see it's the Blackened Patches by Benoit, Rampage, and Martigen. So it's, really works well with Martigen's Mutant Mod. So when you come up, it's mod number 18173. So what you're going to do, you can go ahead and read all the description for the different versions, but we'll show you the one we want for this combination. Go to Files. And the one we're looking for is going to be down here a bit, and it is the FWE MMM Project Beauty. All right, so that's the only one we need for this. We have the FWE WMK compatibility patch. We're now just looking for the FWE MMM Project Beauty compatibility patch. So download that with Manager, and you see we have it right here. We are going to double click to install. We're going to call it Blackened FWE MMM Project Beauty. You can see in testing it figured it out for me, but you won't have that option. Make sure it matches up and you have a good name for that so it knows what it's doing. Click Manual. You can see no game data on top. We go ahead and set data directory, and now it looks good. It now has the FWE MMM Project Beauty ESP and a readme.txt. Looks good. Go and click OK. Go and highlight it. Activate it, and you can see it's not really doing much, but we want to go ahead and slide it up because it is a compatibility bridge. We want to slide it up below everything else that we have. Since we have FWE, MMM, and Project Beauty, we have the appropriate ones. Let's make sure our load order is correct here. Let's see, I have Project Beauty somewhere around. You see we have Fallout 3 Redesigned HD version, Martigen's Mutant Mod, and then followed by the patch for that to work correctly. Right, so it's below all the FWE stuff. So that's going to work just fine there. So now that we have that, let's go take a look at our plugins. And you scroll down. It's saying we have a missing master. Let's take a look at that. Missing Master Mart's Mutant Mod ESM. Well, let's double check. Where is it at? Aha! Up here in your ESMs, it didn't know to activate that. So let's go ahead and check that. It's where Mod Organizer helps you a lot. Check that. I bet if we come down, yep, the warning is gone. So you are all set. Let's go ahead and we're going to use loot to sort our mods. We have Fallout 3, and we scroll down, and that's our current setup. Project Beauty. Martigen Mutant Mod should be in the middle someplace. Blackened Patch. And we scroll back up. I bet Mart's Mutant Mod is up here somewhere. There it is. And all of them had the bash tags, so we should be good to go. We're going to sort our plugins. And apply. We can now close down loot. And you see it made some changes. I'm okay with this. Whatever loot wants to do, I'm fine and happy with. So go ahead and do that. Now is the time we want to rebuild our bash patch or our merge patch because we've now added more mods to our setup. So I'm going to go off and build my bash patch, and I will come back in game and we'll show you what we did. So here we are in game, and you can see we're back in Moira's creator side supply, and the only reason why I'm using Moira is because we've talked to her so many times, we're kind of familiar with what her face looks like. Hi, Moira.
Oh, hey! Kinda busy here, but I guess I can talk for a bit. What's up?
So you can see Moira's face is a lot more smooth, the freckles aren't as pronounced, and the face has been changed, so we know that works. So let's go ahead and go.
The info you're bringing back is great! Looking forward to more.
So, of course, we have Colin Moriarty. You can see the face is much different. It looks more aged and, quite frankly, a little uglier. So, see you, Marty. Gotta go now.
And so now we part.
So the last thing we need to check is go ahead and check Bart's Mutant Mod. And, the best way to do this is probably to go ahead and kill stuff to see the different variations. But I've gone through and tested it, and it looks good. There is an MCM menu for it. Go ahead and open up your Pip-Boy. Under Apparel, you can see the MMM control panel. Go and click that, and you can see all your settings. And you can go through, and this is why I recommend reading the text files that come with this, so you know how to change it all. Go and close that down. When I come back, we'll talk about what problems that may arise and things that you can do to try and fix it. So I'll be back. Alright, so there's been a number of times that people have talked about archive invalidation, and one of the problems that can come up is that sometimes the textures that you've now put into the game may not merge quite well with that, and there's a way to do that. And if you go over to your data profiles, and you can manage those like this, and you can see under each of your profiles you have automatic archive invalidation. Now what you can do is, if you're having texture issues, you can unclick it and close it. Close Mod Organizer, open it back up, go back into your profiles, manage, Dirty Weasel, automatic archive invalidation. Re-click it and close it again. When you close Mod Organizer the next time, it should activate just fine. It shouldn't have any problems. I've never had that problem before myself, but some people have reported it, and that is one way of fixing that issue. So I just wanted to include that in the video and let you guys know about that potential workaround. So that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it instructional. I'll be back with more mods in future episodes. I'm not sure what we'll be covering, but we'll be covering something interesting and new for you to install into your game. So once again, my name is Cal. I'm from Dirty Weasel, and I'm signing off.